Sure. Okay. Okay. Good evening to everybody who's with us and to anytime, everybody that's here in Mamlo Shul. Gemara Shir, Baruch Hashem. We're learning, Baruch Hashem. Maseches Shabbos Kuf Lamed Daled Omud Beis in the bottom of the page. Kuf Lamed Daled Omud Beis. We are learning about refuah. Line starts with the word gufa. Shir Nishmas, my father Menachem Ben Akiva. Ruth Bas Shalom, So Bas Moshe, Aviva Bas Moshe. Gufa. Yeah. Omar Rav. What does Gufa mean? It means that beforehand there was a topic that was mentioned B'derech Agav, was mentioned tangentially. Gufa means now we're focusing on that which before was only on the side. Now it's taking center stage. Yeah, the sugya is now becoming the main sugya. What is the sugya? We spoke before about the cotton, which had bris milah. Now he has the din of chole, and therefore there are things you can do to the cotton, even doraisa, even so doraisa, because the chole shesh b'sakona touches washing the baby. And when we spoke about washing, we said the following: Omarav, ein monin chamin v'shemen mal gabe makeh b'Shabbos, which means, let's say a person has a wound on Shabbos and he wants to mix together chamin v'shemen. That's what Tosfos explains. Hot water. Chamin means hot water. Shemen is oil. He wants to mix them. Let's say there's no problem with bishul, just to know it's not too hot or I don't know, lishi, and mix them together. And the person wants to put them on the wound on Shabbos to heal. So now that's allowed. Why is that allowed according to Rav? Is that called refuah? Well, no. Why? Because we learned in the Mishnah Daf Kuf Yud Aleph that smearing oil, at least back then, they said maybe today it's again different. It's normal to take oil that's very oily, no problem with memarech. It's very, very oily, runny oil. And some people smear it just for fun, right? Today, lots of people, women, they like to put cream. I figured at some point in my life, they put cream stamp for no reason. We put cream when the hand is dry, right? But some people back then in the Gemara, they would put shemen stamp for fun, cosmetics, no reason. First Mishnah Kuf Yud Aleph. So to put shemen alone for the makkah doesn't look like something medicinal. And the famous rule is when something doesn't look like refuah, even if your intention is refuah, if it doesn't look that way, it's not something done exclusively for refuah. It's something that's done normally. We said yesterday, you eat a lot of carrots for health reasons. You're allowed to eat carrots on Shabbos. You don't have to be unhealthy on Shabbos. Usually we eat unhealthy stuff on Shabbos, all the gala, right? But lemaisa, yeah, you can, as long as it looks normal and not necessarily medical, it's okay. So shemen alone is okay. What about hot water? It's also okay. I'm just washing my body. What's the problem? The chiddush of Rav is that even if you mix oil and hot water together, which may look a bit strange, and soon we'll see the other opinion, Rav said no, it's still considered to be something normal. Shemen alone is good, doesn't look crazy, or dafka for refuah, neither is chamin. So even if you mix them, it doesn't really look like refuah enough to answer it. It didn't meet the threshold of something visibly, clearly for refuah. U'shmuel omar noisen chutz lamaka v'shoshes v'yod lamaka. Says Shmuel no. Shmuel says to mix hot water and oil, that mixture is strange, and therefore if you put it straight on the makkah, it does look exclusively as done for refuah. So Shaila, where do you put the threshold, right? Shmuel says it looks too much of refuah. So what are you allowed to do? Let's say you have dry skin or you have makkah. You know what you can do? Put it in a different place, not by the makkah. Let's say chas v'shalom, a person has makkah and is, on the palm of his hand or the back of his hand. Put the shemen v'mayim over here and let it drip down, trickle down to the makkah. Why? Because then it's less noticeable. If I put it in a place where it's healthy, the healthy part of the body, and then it travels down to the place of the makkah, then it's still okay. Because I'm not treating in a very pointed way just the makkah. And therefore, that is good enough for Shmuel, to be considered as not doing it for the makkah itself. Okay? Mesivi, a brayso that seems to question what we said. Ein noisnin shemen v'chamin al gabe moich, liten al gabe makkah. It says one's not allowed to put oil and hot water moch. Moch, we know the concept of moch from Taras HaMishpacha. Moch means basically some kind of soft tissue, soft kind of cloth. Yeah, a cloth. You can't put something on the cloth, oil or water, to put it on the moch in order to put on the makkah be Shabbos. That seems to be clearly against Rav. Rav is definitely in trouble here, right? Because the Choira, yeah, you see that, yeah, Shmuel is right and Rav is wrong, yeah. You see that Maim and Shem and V'chamin, you can't put them straight on the makkah, not even if you put it on the bandage really. Don't put the hot water and the oil on the bandage and then put them on the wound, because why? Because that's refuah. And that does look like refuah with straight on the makkah, like Shmuel and against Rav. Zog the Gemara, no, no, no. Maybe, I don't know about whether Rav is right or wrong, but don't prove Rav wrong from that brisa. Why? Hosa mishum schita, a whole different story. When it comes to hot water, enechnami, oil may not be, but hot water, even cold water, if you put it on the what? On the bandage, you may come to squeeze it, right? Even to wet it as it is could be a big shaila. Maybe if it's very clean, it's okay. There's a shaila about compresses in Shabbos, yeah? A compress, like a. So that's only b'shas adchak. You may be allowed to do that if it's very, very clean, the towel, because then you're not cleaning it, and it's a shas adchak. I'm not a poisek, but I know. Schita, squeeze. That's for sure also. I'm talking wetting without schita is also also. Yeah? But the problem here is not because of refuah. Rav will tell you, on the contrary, I'm right. You can put it where? Straight on the makkah. If you put it on the bandage, then it's a problem of schita. So put straight on the makkah. It has nothing to do with refuah. So that's what Rav would say. Toshma, ein noisin chamin v'shem al gabei moich shal gabei makkah b'Shabbos. That's a little bit different. If you notice the differences, that brisa says, don't put oil, hot water and oil on the moich that's already on the makkah. Yeah, here the moich is on the makkah itself. I'm not wetting it and then putting it on the makkah. I'm just wetting the whole thing together. The moich and the makkah, and you can't do that. So you see that when we're dealing directly with the makkah, maybe that's the issue because it's already on the makkah. So maybe that's why it's more osir, not only because of schita. Maybe there is because it's on the makkah itself, so it's more visibly done for that. Says the Gemara, no. Also, mishum schita. There's no problem, according to Rav, to apply anything on the makkah itself. I don't mean anything. I mean hot water and oil can be applied to the makkah. The only problem is the bandage that's on the makkah. Why? Because when you have water on the bandage, then either it's osir of itself, or the Mishnah Berurah says, and I think Rashi says here too, that you may come to squeeze it. Or I know that the Mishnah Berurah, as far as I remember, said, yeah, don't squeeze that. You may come to squeeze it. That's a problem. Yeah, even if it's okay to wet it as of itself for medicinal reasons, but if you may come to squeeze, that's a big problem. There'll be an issa doraisa, and it's osir. Yeah, the chashis you may come to do it. Shemen is not as severe because shemen, even if you will come to squeeze it, shemen did not grow there. Shemen, according to many Rishonim, is only osir to squeeze from its original place of growth, and it didn't grow in the bandage. But anyway, yeah, that's how we learn now. Rav managed to buffer off, and by the way, in that respect, Rav is right la halacha. Even though we're going to see soon halachas like Shmuel, refuah wise, it's true. Yeah, you can't wet the bandage on Shabbos because they may come to squeeze it. Right? As far as I remember from what I've seen in halacha. Tana kavos to Shmuel, regarding the refuah business, not schita, the brisa that supports Shmuel. Ein noisin chamin v'shemen al gabe makeh b'Shabbos. No, halacha paskin like Shmuel, that if you have a mixture of hot water and oil, that looks already too medical, doesn't look like some normal cosmetic fun thing to do, and doing that straight to the makkah, that's already too refuadik. Don't do that. Aval noisin chutz lamaka, you're allowed to pour it on your body. Let's say it's on your hand, pour it on your, I don't know, arm, and then the shoisis v'yored lamaka. You can let that mixture fall down, trickle into the makkah, and that's already, yeah, that's not direct enough. You're not hitting the makkah directly, then it's already good. It's one solution. Again, I'm always scared to say halacha. As far as I remember, I think that is a solution brought down in halachas for chapped hands, for dry hands on the skin. Yeah, I meant dry skin on the hand. You can pay, the baby oil takes a very, very runny oil, not Vaseline. Vaseline is b'marach, yeah? And you can apply it on the top part of the hand, on the arm, and then you let it slide down. Extra local Orthodox rabbi, but as far as I remember, Zaloche. Tanabonon. More on the same. Noisin al gabe hamaka moich yovesh v'sfoig yovesh. One is allowed to put on top of the makkah moich yovesh v'sfoig. Moich yovesh basically is again pieces of cloth, rags of cloth, and sfoig is which are dry. Yeah, they're not wet because wet is a problem, right? Because of schita. If it's dry, it's okay. V'sfoig yovesh also sfoig like something that's like a sponge. A sponge that's dried. Moich is a cloth, pieces of cloth, bad. Besfog yovish, aval, you're allowed to put those, meaning they're not called refuah. Apparently, according to Chazal, when you put stam regular, as we're going to see soon, if you put stam pieces of cloth without any ointments, there is some refuah there, not just to protect the makkah. The actual putting of the cloth itself sometimes is the refuah. Right now, the moment we say just putting regular cloth and your intention is to protect the makkah, why do people band aids and bandages many times just to protect? You shouldn't get infected. You shouldn't be in contact with the outside world, right? Shouldn't bump into it, right? Getting worse. So as long as you're doing it for protection and it's dry, no water, no oil, gesundheit, be gesund. Avaloi gemi yovesh, velo ktitin yeveshin. Apparently, gemi and ktitin, gemi is a reed, dried reed, maybe reeds had some kind of I don't know, it grows. It's an organic thing, so maybe it had some kind of therapeutic qualities that you're not allowed to put because it is therapeutic and you're healing on Shabbos. The like ktitin yaveshin. What are ktitin? We had that already in Perk B'mei Isha. Ktitin are small pieces of cloth, and you're not allowed to put them. That's a contradiction. Frag the Gemara, kasha ktitin a ktitin. No, it's difficult. Why? At the beginning it said moich yovesh, you are yes allowed to put. Ktitin yeveshin you're not. It's the same thing. Moich and ktitin are just synonyms for the same thing. These are pieces of cloth, small, big, still, it's all the same. So are you or aren't you allowed to put dried piece of cloth on your makkah? Is it considered as refuah? Yes or no? The Brisa seems to be contradictory. Answers the Gemara, lo kashya. It's not difficult. Habechadeti habatiki. Big machlokes are showing in here. Habechadeti habatiki. Depends if they're new or old. Yeah. In other words, the new ones are one way. The old ones are the other way. So Rashi says here that chadeti are mirape. The chadeti chadoshim they masu. Meaning, look at Rashi, please. Chadeti chadoshim. Rashi is like second dibra maschal from the bottom of the page. Chadeti chadoshim shelo hoyu al gabi maka me'oilom. They were never there on a makkah ever. They're fresh, clean from the from the super farm, from the pharmacy. They were never been on the makkah ever. Masu, they heal. Atiki loy masu. The old ones they don't heal. That's very interesting though, because what Rashi is saying, he's not saying new means something new from the makolet. He says new they were never on the makkah. And old means they've been to the makkah already. So now, if you combine Rashi and the Rosh and the Rif, says the Shulchan Aruch, that actually the old ones have better healing qualities. And I think I remember that from different places in the Gemara. Old cloth are better. So the old one, meaning if it's old, but it has never been on your body before. That one is the one that's usher, which means the one that's a tiki that's been already around in the world for a long time. It's a bit more crumbled. I don't know. It's a bit older and therefore better for the makkah and it has never been in the makkah yet. It's old. I bought it 10 years ago and not 2 days ago. But mitzvah, the experience with the makkah, it has never been on the makkah yet. That's the healing one. That's the one that's osir. Don't put that on the makkah on Shabbos. That heals properly and it's considered zafu on Shabbos. We don't know these things, but that's what Chazal say. But I'm sure there's some kind of scientific explanation, but I don't know. Omar Abaye, Shmami no. I can hear from here, Haniktitin masu. From here, I can tell you that ktitin, that those dried pieces of cloth, they have the refuah that can be merapem. Maybe Chazal just want to teach us, sometimes Chazal, the pages over pages of good eitzes of refuah. Abai himself quoted his nanny saying lots of things for refuah. So here too, I assume that's pshat. Now we're coming to a whole very, very, very new and fascinating sugya. What did we say in the Mishnah? Sophic androgynous, not doiche Shabbos, according to Tanakama. If you have a baby that's a sophic, what's a sophic? Oh, wow. There are at least 4 different cases of sophic milah. Time, gender, going to see all kinds of things here. And androgynous. Androgynous is a baby that's both a boy and a girl. Those you do milah, but not on Shabbos. It doesn't justify to do the bris milah on Shabbos, as we're going to explain now. Rabbi Yehuda says that androgynous does get bris milah on Shabbos, but Tanakama says no. Everything Be'ezras Hashem will be explained. This is not. We're going to see a typical brisa, which just elaborates and details the Mishnah. Tono bono. It says in the pasuk, "Be'yom shmini yimol b'sar or lo soy." It doesn't say that on the 8th day. What's Be'yom hashmini, my friends? Afilu b'Shabbos, right? How do you know milah b'Shabbos? We had like 4 different sources. Only 2 sources survived. Be'yom hashmini afilu b'Shabbos. True. It says Be'yom hashmini afilu b'Shabbos yimol b'sar or lo soy. His orla is opposed to who? Is opposed to the orla of who? Of the girl of a president? Who? Of course, it means a baby. Orla soy is exclusive. Comes to exclude something. Only his orla of a certain type of baby can be removed on Shabbos, excluding who? Let's see. Orla sovade doiches Shabbos, veloy sofek doiches Shabbos, which means I'm going to cheat a little bit. The Gemara will explain what the suffix is, and already tell you now, because there's a bit of a lumdus here. The first suffix the Brisa talks about is a baby who was born early. We're going to detail later, 7th month or 8th month. He was born premature, to preemie. The incubators are not working in hospital in the times of the Gemara. Or let's say Chas v'Shalom today, I don't know. Yeah, whatever, something happened, yeah. And what happened, the suffix, that kind of suffix, we don't know whether it was born in the 7th month or the 8th month. One born in the 7th month has chances to live. The one born in the 8th month has no chances to live. That's what it was back then. Yeah, that's very interesting. They say, I think, that the certain systems of the body, faculties of the body, they are finished in the 7th month, and then it can develop later. The 8th month is in the middle of something. When it goes out in the middle of one system being developed, that's worse than nothing at all. I don't know. That's what I read somewhere. Maybe. In any event, that baby was a suffix. If he was born in the 8th month, he is, excuse my bad language, dead meat. He's not going to survive. Now, you're not going to do bris milah to a baby that, you may not have to do bris milah for. Maybe you're doing bris milah on stone, the Gemara says. Therefore, you don't do the bris milah. You may ask, what's the chiddush? Leave it for later. But right now, I'm just reading the words. Suffix is not doiche Shabbos. That kind of suffix. Meaning, you do the bris milah for the baby who may or may not live, because if he was born in the 8th month, he has no chances, no starter. You do the bris milah in case he will live, because maybe he's not so premature, right? But on Shabbos, you don't take chances on Shabbos on a maybe. Or losoy vada doiches Shabbos. These are all different droshes. From the same drosh of our losoy, we exclude all types of sfekas. Yeah, it's not many different droshes, right? We know the Gemara gets very jealous not to darshan more than one drosha per word. Here, it's really all variations of the same theme. Or losoy means only the sure baby, the perfect baby we're looking for, can have the bris milah on Shabbos. The same or loss, excluding many types of things, are more or less the same. Sophic with all its variations. Sophic, I don't know how early he was born. Second Sophic, or loss of Shabbos, which means androgynous. I know that he's a boy and a girl. But Rashi says it's a Sophic. In other words, it's not a Sophic b'metzias. This is important to know. It's not a Sophic b'metzias. It's a Sophic in halacha, which means I know I see the baby, the male organ and the female organ. It's as opposed to tumtum, but it's still a Sophic how to halachically view him. Yeah, I know the reality. I'm not asking Dr. Mackenzie. I'm asking the halacha. How do we view it? Yeah, it's not a clear boy and it's not a clear girl, right? It's a Sophic how to treat such a gender, and therefore, because it's not clearly a boy, right? Mimela, we don't do the bris on Shabbos. Because if it's a suffix, if to treat it, if to halachically define it as a boy or not, and therefore we say, well, on Shabbos I'm not taking chances.
The suffix is whether or not it's higher than milah klal.
Oh, it is, yes, it is chayav b'milah during the week. True, very nice. But on Shabbos I don't take the chances. I think so. I think you're right. Now, Rabbi Yehuda Omer, androgynous doiches Shabbos, v'onish koris. We're going to explain that later. Rabbi Yehuda has his own sheet, as we saw in the Mishnah, that androgynous is doiche Shabbos and onush koris. What does mean onush koris? We'll see later. Rabbi Yehuda is on a separate plane. Also, we're continuing the droshes of Allah Soy. Also, vada doiches Shabbos, v'lo nelad ben Moshes doiches Shabbos, which means case number 3. The baby was born Ben Moshes. Oh, lucky us. What does it mean? Friday afternoon, you rush to hospital, so happy that you're not driving on Shabbos. Friday afternoon, when was the baby boy born? Friday afternoon. Or is it Friday afternoon? Maybe it's Shabbos. It's Ben Moshes. In other words, you don't know if it's Friday or Shabbos. Now, if you don't know if it's Friday or Shabbos, then what? If it was born on Ben, actually, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's Shabbos and Sunday. No, if it was born Friday or Shabbos, we don't know if the 8th day is Friday, right? Or the 8th day is Shabbos. So you can't do the bris milah on Friday because maybe Friday is what is the 7th day, right? Or maybe Shabbos is the 8th day. I think I'm right, Nachon? We don't know which one is the 7th or the 8th, Friday or Shabbos. Yeah, Nachon? So therefore, what do? Yeah, we say that, no, actually not. Wait a minute. If on Friday, if he was born either Friday or Shabbos, the next Friday maybe his either 7th day, or maybe Shabbos is the 8th day. I'm right, yeah. Maybe Shabbos is the 8th day, right? Yeah, I'm right. Yeah. Maybe Shabbos is the 8th day, but it's a maybe. So therefore, because it's a maybe, I don't know whether this is the 8th day or not. I'm not taking risks, and I'm not going to do the bris milah on Shabbos, right? Fourth case, or lo savada doiches Shabbos, v'lo nolad kshumo doiches Shabbos. Some babies, ooh, what a simcha, what a kedusha. The baby was born mohul. The baby was born with no orla. So you still do bris milah, and that's going to be a whole story now. From now, more or less till the end of the page, we're going to discuss a baby that was born mohul. Yeah, don't you do bris milah? Even according to those who say you do bris milah, how can you do bris milah? He already has milah. What do? Hatafa. Very good. You prick and let the blood out. You said from 2 places. So now that's not done on Shabbos. Now, back to Tosfos. If you notice, there are 4 cases here. 2 cases are questioned in reality, in Metzias, right? In other words, I don't know if the baby is born if he is going to live or die. It's a suffix of Metzias. I don't know if the baby was born in the 7th month or 8th month. I don't know if the baby will live or die, and no doctor can tell me. The other case, which is suffix of Metzias, is what? I don't know if the baby was born Friday on Shabbos. No doctor can tell me that either. It's Ben Moshe, he beat some suffix. However, there are other sfekas. Androgynous is not a suffix b'mitzias. Androgynous is a suffix in halacha. Yeah, the doctor can tell me a whole shmooze about androgynous. I don't care. Yeah, it was born. Yeah, it's a shalom halacha. And also the case of atofas dam bris, as we'll see later, is a shalom halacha. How do we treat a baby that already has milah? Does it require milah or not? So now Tosfos says, why do you need a posuk to tell me? Let's take as a scapegoat one case, the case of the baby, classical case which can happen today, it happens all the time. Ben Moshe. Yeah, I don't know if the baby was born Friday or Shabbos. In case of doubt, do without. Last time I checked, I was taught sometime in my life, Sofik Doaisa Lachumra. So why do you need a pasuk to tell me that? The pasuk says, "Olosoi v'lo sofik." Why do you need a pasuk? There's a general rule, obviously. I won't take the risk of breaking an Issa Doraisa for no good reason, right? Why need the pasuk for that? No, right? Sofek pikuach nefesh is an exception, but usually whenever sofek do I break the raisa, don't I break it the raisa? Well, I'm religious. You don't break your sofek the raisa with sofek, sure. Says Tos is something very interesting. Enochinami for the sfekas that are b'metzias a sofek, I don't need the pasuk for that. It's only in a smachta. Enochinami. I know from my own idea that sofek the raisa l'chumra. Pasuk's like an extra chizuk for that. But the sfekis of androgynous in Nolad Shomo, they're not suffix b'mitzias. I wouldn't have known that androgynous, you don't do bris milah on Shabbos. It's not a suffix in reality. I need a pasuk to tell me that it's a suffix in reality. Androgynous, I would say, do the milah on Shabbos. That's what I thought yesterday, to be honest with you, before I saw this Gemara. I mean, we saw this Gemara in yeshiva sometimes ago, doesn't matter. Yeah? But I would say it's both a boy and a girl, very in fashion today. So now what? So now he has the bris. So do the bris on Shabbos, why not? It's not a suffix b'mitzias. Look, he has bris. Let's do the bris. Kamash malan. No, the halacha does view that it's suffix, and therefore don't do the bris milah. Same thing. The one born that it's small. Second. Also the one that's born when it's small. We're going to see now. There's a big suffix how to treat, how to deal with it. That's good for the chiddush. One that's born already with the bris milah. Halacha says, I am choishesh that really there is. As I'm letting the cat out of the bag now. I'm choishesh that really not mohol. That there's a compressed orla underneath which you can't see, and therefore really does need bris milah. But that's a chidush Torah that I have to be concerned about that because we don't see it with our eyes. So the sfek is b'mitzias I know the pasuk for, but the sfek is b'halacha. When halacha tells me that halachically androgynous is dealt with as a suffix, and the baby that's mahul is also dealt with as a suffix, because there are those who say that maybe he is really not mahul, that I need a pasuk for. That's lomdish of Tosfos. Yes, Akiva, what did you want to say? Are you good? Yeah? Beseder. Okay. Weiter. שבשאר אומרים, צורך להטיף ממנו דם בריס, בסילול אומרים, אין הצורך. Let me now explain what's going on. According to the first opinion, Beshamai say you have to do hatofa. That baby, which seems to be completely mohul, born like a big tzaddik with no bris milah, say Beshamai, Sagt Rashi, Chashiran Shema Orla Kvusha, what's Kavush compressed? I'm afraid that we can't see reality. Maybe there is an Orla hidden or compressed under what you see, underneath over there, and therefore, and you can't take it out, too small, too invisible, whatever. But because this baby may be an Orla, like all other babies, just shaped differently, to play it safe, you have to do hatofa. You have to do hatofa. However, even the Shammai would tell you on Shabbos you don't do this hatofa. Right? That's a chiddush, yeah? That's halachic chiddush, not in Metzias. V'silamim eino tzorich. Eino tzorich ever. V'silas say, a baby that's born mohul, I don't have to be concerned, and choishesh, maybe he's really orel. I don't have to be concerned. What you get is what you see. You don't see an orla, he has the orla. I'll just explain something, because these Gemara's happen many, appear every once in a while, and people almost always get confused. We're going to see now, we're preparing you, Machlokes Tanoim B'Sham B'Silal. There will be now a Machlokes how to explain B'Sham B'Silal by Tanoim, and then there will be Amaroim taking sides. So right now we have B'Sham B'Silal saying what? So far so clear. The Shammai say, baby, there has to be Hatofa even though he's Mohul, born Mohul. B'Silal say, don't sweat over it ever. Shabbos, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, no bris milah for the baby that's born mohul, unless you see otherwise when he becomes 5 years old. Okay, we'll talk then. But as long as you don't see the as orla, I don't have to be concerned. No bris milah b'chlal required. That's the first explanation of the machlokes b'sham b'silam. Now comes a second explanation of within b'sham b'silam. Amar B'Shimon ben Elazar. B'Shimon ben Elazar is a second opinion in the Mishnah to explain them. Boom. He's throwing a bomb over here. Everybody says the Tana of Shimon ben Elazar that both B'Sham and B'Silal unanimously agree that if it's born Mahul, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you have to do a Tofas Dam Bris, because we are concerned that there is an Orla Kavusha. Yeah, that there's something there that's just hidden. So what is the argument? Interesting, not about Shabbos. Leave Shabbos alone. What is the machloikes? Al ger shenisgayer kshumohul. Aha. Let's say there's a ger. That can happen many times. The ger had milah. Why? Either says Rashi is an Arab. Already back then, Arabs they do bris milah, Muslims do bris milah, or maybe he is American. Many American goyim, I was told, they have bris milah, right? V'chulei. He's mal. At the age of 25, he decides to become Jewish. Physically, technically, he already physically has milah. Does he still have to go through the process of milah, i.e., hatofa, or no? Shebeshama omrim tzorich latif mimenu dam bris. B'silamim ain't tzorich latif mimenu dam bris. The Shammai say you do have to do that tofa, and the Sila say you don't, meaning, explains the Meiri. The Shammai say you have to do a tofa. Why? Because at the end of the day, I don't care that he's physically I'm not saying exactly what Meiri says. I'm basing myself on the Meiri. It's very nice that he's physically bris milah, but that's not bris milah. They didn't serve cakes after. No cakes after the meal, after the no, which means it's not. He has to do something to do the milah to enter the covenant of Hashem. He had it done in a hospital, right? In Johns Hopkins, nothing to do with the religion, right? And therefore, what? Now he's becoming Jewish. He has to do a halachic milah. So says the Shammai. Besil alamim ain't soch taf dam brit. Is gershon is gal kikoton shenoilot, right? It's a whole new thing. I don't care that the previous milah wasn't good. Technically, he has milah. That's all I need. All I need is the result. I don't need the act. So 1 minute. So now let us now repeat. According to the first explanation of Bisham and Basilel, they argue on a baby that was born how? Was born mohul. The Shammai say you do that tofa, Basil say you don't, right? Okay, nachon. This is say you don't, but even the Shammai say you don't have to do that tofa on Shabbos, only during the week. Even the Shammai. According to the second opinion of the Rabbi Shimon Elazar, the Tana interprets B'Shama and B'Sil. He's not arguing on them. He's interpreting them differently. And he's saying that they all agree that the baby has Orla Kvusha. A nice Yiddish kind. Yeah, a nice Jewish boy born with Bris Milah. Amazing. So you still have to do a tofa lekula alma because we're concerned there's something hidden there. The only machlokas B'Shama and B'Hillel is about the 28 years old guy who was got milah, technically physically as milah. When did he do the bris milah? I don't know, when he was 2 months old, and his father Tim McKenzie took him to hospital to do milah because I thought it's healthy. Nice. So Beth Shammai say you need to do bris milah, and Beth Hillel say you don't, right? Yes, we're going to see later that's not only Beth Shammai. Yes, we're here. Halacha seems to be like Beth Shammai, but let's not jump. You're right, but let's not jump the gun. We're going to discuss it more. 4 more minutes. Yeah. Oh, now what I already spoiled it for you. The Gemara will now speak it out. We're now rereading the Brisa. The Moira is saying, if you follow the Brisa before, the Brisa says, Sofek doesn't push away Shabbos, and then gave you all kinds of Sfekes, Androginus, born Friday afternoon, born with milah, ta. Which other suffix is there that we didn't mention before in the Brisa? So the Gemara, what I told you, la tuye, to include hodaton rabbanon, to tell you the following case. Ben Shiva means born on the 7th month of pregnancy. Mechal of Shabbos. Mechal Shabbos means also to save his life. Because the 7th-month-old baby, not 7 months after birth, born at the 7th month, on the 7th month, such a baby has chances to live. Therefore, do everything you can to save his life. Let's say he needs hot bath and a lot of, I don't know, physiotherapy, whatever he needs to be done on Shabbos, even including Chilul Shabbos, you do Chilul Shabbos on him. Ben Shmoina and Mechalel Shabbos, Ben Shmoina, you don't do Chilul Shabbos. Now, what I know Rashi didn't say what I said. I was going to see Rashi. What I told you is also true. At 8 months old, meaning we don't do any Chilul Shabbos. Now, it's true about saving his life. The 8-month-old is a goner, according to Rashi. According to Rashi, no chance, he's not going to live. You can't call the ambulance to try and save the life of the 8-month-old because it's not going to help. You're wasting your time doing Chilul Shabbos. Now, this is also true regarding milah. The 7th-month-old, you don't do Chilul Shabbos, but the 7th-month-old, you do a milah to him. Let's say he's healthy enough. He's very tiny, preemie, but seems to be okay, not too green, not too red. Remember the colors we spoke? Fine, good. Do bris milah, why not? 8-month-old, you don't do bris milah, right? Because why do bris milah? He's going to die anyways. You're wasting your time. Now your time. You're wasting your Chilul Shabbos on a baby that's not going to live anyways. It's considered like stone, like nothing. Sofik ben Sheva, Sofik ben Shmone. Here comes fun, and that's what our Brisa spoke about. The one who's either 7 month or 7 month, 7 month or 8-month old. We don't know how long he's been in the womb. And Mechal of Shabbos. You don't do Chilul Shabbos on him. Why? If he's 7 months old, yes, but maybe not. Maybe he's 8 months old. If he's 8 months old, meaning 8-month pregnancy, then you're doing Chilul Shabbos for nothing. So here you wait till Sunday, Akiva. Comes Sunday, and then if he deserves bris milah, great. If it does not deserve bris milah, so it's time cut it. Rashi here is an interesting question with a lot of lomdus, which we're not touching on right now. I just want to get to one more line. What about if the baby is now 8 months old, meaning 8 months pregnancy? We assume he's going to die for sure, and we don't treat him. Now, the problem is what happens on Shabbos? Are you allowed to feed him? Ben Shmona Rel Ke'even, 8 months old is like a stone, also letalteloi, he's muktzah. You can't move him. Maybe you can tell a goy, I don't know, but you can't move him yourself. Aval ima shoich o minikosim pnei sakona. His mother may lean over him, his mother may crouch over him without taking him in her arms, and she should breastfeed him because of sakona. What does it mean because of sakona? It says Rashi, her sakona. The mother has milk in her chest, and that can be very painful and dangerous, right? And therefore, because of that, she should feed him, so she should get out of sakona. Now, the Chassam Sofer, I saw the Chassam Sofer actually gave shir on this in yeshiva some time ago. The Chassam Sofer says, no, this baby, as much as we say has no chances, right? Pshat is, right now is considered as muktzeh, don't move him, because right now, if nothing else happens, he's going to die. However, if you feed him, he may just make it to the 9th month outside the womb, and then he'll be able to live. So he says, mipnei sakona doesn't mean the mother's sakona of having excessive milk, the baby sakona. You feed the baby for the sake of the baby, right? Why? Because you may manage to just let him cross that gap, that bridge that was born in the middle of the 8th month. Yeah? Maybe 2 more weeks you'll manage to schlep him before he dies, and then he'll make it to the 9th month, and then he'll be able to live. And therefore you feed him for himself, for his own sake. That's what Chassam Sofer says. Basing himself on Mishmos of other Rishonim. Okay, we'll stop here. Tomorrow, Metz Hashem. As usual, what's tomorrow? Wednesday. Slacha bracha. Thank you very much to everybody. So nice to have you back, Rav David. Thank you to everybody who's coming here. Tomorrow, eat mara, v'chul, v'chul. We're going to see more till the end of the page, Be'ez Hashem. Thank you. May we only have healthy, good babies, boys or girls, not anything in the middle.